Next, we're gonna look at how we are going to plot different graphs in different windows. Very easy. You have to um, basically number the figures. If you want to plot a specific plot in a specific figure, just number that figure, and then it is going to open that figure and plot whatever you want to plot in that figure. For example, this is the plot that we plotted in our last video. So if I call this figure 1, and then I want to plot another plot, and let's say let's say I ask user to enter the range for the plot. So I would say, let's assume let's keep it x as well. X equals, or let's change the variable, t equals input, enter the time vector for which you want to plot, and let me enter a function. Let's say 2 cosine 5x sine 3x plus 4 sine x sine 4. Oh, since we are asking for t, let's go ahead and do t over here. T, just to make sure that the user is going to see that user is entering a time range, so it's better to have the variable t. 4 sine 4t plus 3 cosine 5t. Let's assume that we want to plot this function, and we ask user to enter, why do I always do that, to enter the value of time. Instead of us putting a specific value, we're just gonna go ahead and ask user to enter a value of time. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and write that equation down. Let's say that equation, I call it f of t equals, I have 2 cosine, 2 times cosine 5 of t, 5 times t, 5 times t, sine 3t. So this is a vector, so I'm going to use a period, sine 3 times t, 3 times t, and then I have let's see, 2 cosine 5t sine 3t plus 4 sine 4t plus 4 times sine of 4 times t, and plus 3 cosine 5t plus 3 times cosine of 5 times t. Okay, 5 times t. I think my keyboard is not working properly. For some reason, I think some of the keys that I use, they just get jammed, and then I have to go and rewrite it. Alright, so anyways, this is the function that we want to plot, and since we want to plot in a separate figure, separate window, we're going to do figure, let's say 2. This is my figure 2, and I'm going to plot t comma ft. There's definitely something going on with my keyboard. Okay, and then I'm just going to do x label and y label. X label, let's say this is my time, and I'm putting a single quote and it is doing double, so I'm not sure what's going on. And then I'm gonna do y label, and I have y of, or f of t, f of t, and then I'm gonna do title, which is let me just copy this. That's gonna be my title. No, sorry, not this. This is gonna be my title. Control C. So f of t equals this, colon. There you go. So that's gonna be my second plot. I'll save it. I'm gonna run it again. Observe that this is uppercase, so it's gonna give an error. I'm not sure what's going on with my keyboard, but definitely there's something going on, whether the key is getting stuck or something. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and plot it and observe. I have figure number 1, which was our first plot. Figure number 2 is not coming up. There must be some error. Let's see. Syntax error. No, that's the old one. Let me go. No, it's asking for time vector, of course. So let's enter the time vector. Let's assume we want to go from 0 to 0.01 interval, 0 to 0.01, and let's say we're gonna go ahead and plot until 10. Let's see, my keyboard is messing up. 10. Run it, and then you're gonna go and get this plot now. There you go. So that's how you're gonna plot two different plots in two separate windows. Just name the windows separately: figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, whatever you want to plot. Okay. Another thing that you can read in the tutorial about how to change the color and all those things. I don't think that in the tutorial I mentioned how to change the width of the line. So let me go ahead and show you that, how to change width of the line. So if I go and if I want to change the color, as you can see in the tutorial, all I have to do is to choose from one of the colors that are allowed in MATLAB. Let's say if I want to do instead of a blue color, if I want to plot it with red. So the code for the red is R. All you have to do is to put an R in quotations, or and if you want to change the width of the line, all you have to do is line width, comma, and whatever width you want. Let's say 4. Save. Let's go ahead and run it again. And then it's going to ask me the same question to enter the range. Let's say, let me enter the same range, 0 to 0.01 and up to 10. So observe that my lines are thicker now. So line width command basically change the width of the line. So use it if you see the graph is too dull, it's hard to see. Use the line width and then choose a number. You can play around with that and see whatever number fits your graph, and that's gonna look good. It's gonna be clear and all those things. In MATLAB and Octave, in both MATLAB, Octave, you can see points on the line like cursors, remember, data points, and in Octave you can see at the bottom, if you go on the graph, then you can see the values of x and y for any point. In MATLAB it's the same thing, data cursors, and it moves along the line. I don't think in Octave it moves along the line. By the way, if you press grid, you can see that grid appeared in the background. You can also type grid actually in the command window to make the grid appears in the graph. Octave graphing capabilities are not as great as MATLAB, to be very honest. Like cursor, data cursor, and all those things, those are really good in MATLAB. But again, Octave, it's free, of course, use it, and then explore. You will have many things in Octave that are available, but you can move it around. But again, it's not as many as in MATLAB. But anyways, enjoy graphing. In the next video, we're gonna look at how we can graph 2 functions or 3 functions in the same figure.